the going or whatnot, if you don't mind, Ben. And
Wake up. Mouse grid.
is that Jay you
5,
singing? Is that Jace singing
8,
over?
8,
Can you
3,
can you mute Jay out for me?
mouse click.
Okay, cool. Like, yeah, just keep on mute unless you guys got any questions. All right, cool. So let's go through some shit. So I'm gonna just see if you're there on Facebook land. I'm not gonna be checking there. So if you have questions, hop on the Zoom link. Ben, if you want to drop that Zoom link in that sucker into the thread right now, go for it. And if you want to monitor Facebook, we can answer any questions if people are live. So really quick, I want to go over. I know that a bunch of you guys are in the GSD program too. Um, First, I want to start off like who does not have a setter process in place right now. So in the chat, I want to get a 2 in the chat if you do not have a setter process in place right now. Okay. Okay. 1.5. I like it. You're midway there. Okay. Okay. I am their setter. Okay, there you go. Okay, cool. So no problem. Like, the best way to start off with setting is when you don't have a process is to build it yourself, or we already have one built out for you guys. So if you're in the GSD already, you'll learn ours so you can integrate into your business. And if you're not in the GSD, you'll probably want to consider it. When it comes to setting, the most important thing is why are we even doing it? Like, we have to understand the goals. Because if we don't know our outcome of what we're trying to accomplish, then it's just going to be, I'll do it whenever the fuck I feel like it. And if that's the model, then that's never going to work. It's never going to be consistent. And you're always going to be looking for a solution, because consistency is everything. Because setting is a skill. It can also be forgotten, just like a language, right? So if you don't practice this on a regular basis, expect those results. Okay. So this isn't fucking magic. This is just saying words in text message format as if you're talking to a friend. And we just want to use that language so we get better and better at it. Because one thing that I will see is like, well, what do I do if they ask for price? Well, they said that they already have a solution. It's like we just have to take ourselves out of the situation, just calm down, and then respond accordingly. If somebody is interacting with us and they're asking us for price, guess what? We got a buyer on our hands. If somebody is interacting with us and they're working with somebody already, we got somebody who's remotely unhappy with their situation that's looking to grow, and now they have something that they can now find what they could like. So it's our job to mature that conversation. So going back to the goal, like what the goal is from setting is to sell our stuff. We're trying to sell our offer. If we don't know our offer, everything in front of that offer is going to be harder to do. So the more clear we are on what our offer is, that's our end destination, is selling this thing. Now, leading up to selling that thing, we just have to have conversations about it. The way we get the conversation started so we can actually have effective sets is to start posting stuff where people are hanging out. Like whether it's an advertisement, it's an email list, it's a text blast, or even posts on your Facebook wall. And having your profile funnel set up. Just a basic ass banner can be done in Canva. You can buy it from Fiverr with some, so it looks cooler and nicer. And tell people what you do. Fill out your profile. Facebook gives you all that real estate for free, so you can take advantage of it. Now people know exactly what you do. So when you do friend them, when you do talk to them, they can see in a glimpse and make it easy so they don't have to scroll through 4 or 5 posts and figure out what you do. Now they know what you do. Because have you ever gone through someone's Facebook profile that friended you and you scroll down and all they do is like forward other people's posts to their fucking wall? And it's like some are jokes, some are politics, some are whatever. And then later in life, you realize, oh, that person's a realtor. But now you're never using that realtor because you don't give a shit about their views. Had they talked about what they did, had they talked about their authority, had they talked about like actually giving value in lives rather than forward a Donald Trump fucking tweet or whatever nonsense they're going to do, and talked about how they can help you make more money or get you in a home, or in our cases, we're mostly marketers and coaches here. How in the world are we supposed to expect people to understand what we do if we don't tell them what we do? Right? Does that make sense, everybody? Okay.
Yes.
So the most important part is we have to keep our message congruent, because Facebook they're not your friends on Facebook. They're your ideal client audiences. Okay. Like you will make friends with them over time because as you get older, for us older people, your friends list gets smaller. Like when you want to like when I want to go get a beer with a friend, I don't have 100 people I can choose from anymore. I have three. So when I use Facebook, I'm using it for business because 90% of the people on my wall, I'm meeting through situations like this. And then we become friends. We meet through commonalities. We're trying to get in the same room as people who have similar goals so we can all level up together. So the more I post about what I do, the more I post about how I can help solve problems, the more leads I get, the more blind referrals I get, the more warmer conversations I get. And that allows me to build more conversations. So I'll get tagged in different groups because I talk about the same shit over and over. I talk about how we can help people build people's businesses. We can run ads for people. We can run a coaching program, etc. So my message is really clear. It's very consistent. And then it allows me to qualify from there. So, like for example, let's go into some DM strategies. Anybody who has questions, go ahead and just ask them inside of the chat too. And wherever Ben is, Ben, I'm gonna have you monitor that because I'm not gonna really
Yeah,
look too closely at that. Otherwise, I get distracted. Okay.
I've got it. I'm
Okay.
monitoring that.
Okay. Cool. So as we're building our content base, like if we're selling an offer, like I'm charging $3,000 to real estate agents, and I want them to buy my marketing service so that they can sell 12 more homes this year. So basically, I'm charging them 36 grand, and if I'm charging them in California, my expected outcome is to make them at least 3x on their money. So now I have my offer. Now, how do I want to get people there? I have to go on Facebook. I have to talk about how I'm not a commodity because that's the first thing we are going to be pinned against. We're commodities. We do the same shit as everybody else. So all I'm going to do is zag instead of zig and zagging, or I'm going to zag when people are zigging, etc. So I'm going to talk about why Facebook ads will never work for real estate agents because they're lacking one thing, a strategy. And then my offer is going to be a free strategy video on how you can effectively run Facebook campaigns for less than $1,000 a month to make six figures this year with this proven system. And it's guess what? The video is all for free. Now I can build my list. I don't really give a shit. I just want to build my list. Hey, how do I get it? Hit me. Like comment me, you get the video for free, totally for free. Next step on there, we go to the DM. Instead of saying, if somebody says me, you don't have to necessarily ask for permission anymore. You don't have to say, hey, mind if I send you a DM? You could, because that will trigger the algorithm further and give you the vanity metric of more comments and views and all that kind of stuff, but it will slow the process down. Because now what we do is saying, awesome, check your DM. Awesome, DM sent. Sending DM in a minute. So now we're just telling them statements. Then we're going to slide up in the DM. We'll say, hey, thanks for your comment on the post about wanting to get X. I just want to make sure it's relevant for you. You're still looking for leads. And then we start the conversation from there. Yes. Okay, cool. Well, can you tell me like what's going on with the current situation so I make sure that this is the right solution for you? And now we have a sales conversation. And now what if we did that 50 times on Monday? 50 times on Monday. How many people do you think you guys could actually get on the phone? 5 of them, 3 of them, 2 of them? And what's 2 of them worth to you? Because we've just qualified them. If we use the right strategies in Messenger, I just want to talk about the methodology first of what this impact is, because we have to think about the outcome, because too many people are thinking about the micro. They're thinking about, well, how do I get 50 conversations going? Well, the goal of 50 is what's our sales goal? That's the goal we're looking for, because then it will make our Messenger strategies more powerful. We're not going through motions. We're going through very specific tactics and strategies to get people on a phone call, because then we can select people. If we're practicing, we'll get those shitty leads on the phone just to practice. And that's okay. You can get totally unqualified people just to practice, and you can take bigger risks because you're not going to be able to really, they're not a good fit anyways. So there's no harm in that when you're aware that it's practice rounds, because that's going to be phone-based sales. But the way I look at it from our team's perspective is we have a goal. We need to hit a metric of at least 100 booked appointments per person Of those 100 booked appointments, I would say 50% are going to be disqualified inside of a triage. And then of the 50 that are now left, that's 100 total of 2 people. Like 30% are just going to absolutely no show on us, and we have to figure out how to long-term nurture them. And then of the 70 that's now left, half of those are going to be good fits that are really ready or think they're not, like they're going to have a moment in time where we can actually close those people. So if we have 35 hot people out of 200, that's not bad. Like you may be doing some percentages, but we're also have a different criteria of what we look for too. We don't want assholes. That's number one. That's the first rule. We're not going to deal with problem child clients, because if they're going to be a problem on the front end, they're going to be a fucking disaster when we work together. That's for sure. We've all taken those on, and I urge you to take on an asshole client so you'd never do it again. So that will help you learn a good lesson when one person's a pain in the ass. We all got to go through that. It's important that we do, actually. So backing into the numbers is the most important thing, because like it's all like in there. There's a ESPN show. I forgot about it. What the name of it was? Something about the numbers. But it all comes down to the data, because we all have a money goal. We all have a freedom goal. And when we know those things of what our destination is, then we back the numbers into our setting goals and everything else. And when it comes to like having that clarity, that's when you're going to be more powerful, and you're also going to be able to be consistent. Because now you're going to know what it takes. It's going to take posting every single day on Facebook. It's going to take posting every day on Instagram, posting every day on LinkedIn if you want to. Those are 3 channels of the biggest channels with your buying audience right this second. So now that we know that that's where everybody's hanging out, think about what you're doing in a day to avoid those 3 things. So think about like, oh, I need more leads. Well, you just heard where the fuck to go, and it's free, and you're still avoiding them. Many people avoid them. Oh, well, I don't know what to say. Well, what do? Say that. Simple, right? So that's how we actually can get authority over time. And it's not going to happen overnight. Unless you know like LeBron James or somebody famous to get you famous, it's not going to happen overnight. So it's going to take a lot of us, a lot of content to be able to demonstrate that trust and authority in a red ocean so we can part it to be blue. Some of us will take a month, some of us will take a year, but the journey's different for everybody. But that's how you actually get set appointments if you're going to do it organically. Now, if you have cash flow, whether you borrow it from a bank, a credit card, a mom, a dad, a friend, a cousin, or whatever, then you can run ads. You just have a dope ass offer. The fastest way to get the most amount of leads so your setter team can be effective, even if it's just you, is have a really cool lead magnet to just get the lead. That's the easiest, cheapest way to get as many people in your funnel as possible, qualified or not. The setting process is to disqualify people and qualify people. Then from there, we can always step up our game once we have our first level of driving traffic. And then we can get something more aggressive, like a VSL or a webinar funnel. So they have to watch a video. And after that video, they can book an appointment with you. After they book an appointment, then you set them. Because like on Friday, we had like 3 or 4 calls that came directly from our website, and we didn't take them because they didn't follow our setting process. We weren't able to qualify them to get to sales. We had our gatekeeper process. We want to make sure like, hey, I know you want to spend a bunch of money with somebody, but we just want to make sure we're a good fit for you too, so that we could help you. So now I want to kind of open forum it. Like, let's get anybody want to unmute, because now I wanted to lay the foundation of like we have to know our outcome and our destination for ourselves first. Our freedom, the money we want to make. I want to make 50 grand. I want to be able to work in some point, like instead of working 20 hours or 40 hours a week, I want to work 30, or I want to work 20. Now we assign a time frame to that. Then we back it into our offer. So we're starting with our endpoints versus our front points. So the endpoint is, I want free time. I want this kind of cash flow because it'll get me X. Now we have to go back into, okay, what can I offer my ideal audience that'll be irresistible, that will solve their pains? And now we can now start doing the front end shit, which is the content, which will lead to our destination. And when things don't work, It's going to be three different things. It's going to be like our offers, it's going to be the funnel that they get there, or it's going to be the traffic that's not enough for us. So we go back into three main criteria, because that's really what it is. People aren't buying my shit. Okay, well, is it the offer? Is it the funnel? Is it the traffic? We don't have to go into a million different things which people think, because what the most people I see, what they're going to do is they're going to start working on go high level. Who gives a fuck? It's a commodity. Go buy that shit from somebody else. Like, go high level is just a tool. It's not your solution. You can make it the solution in your offer, but building something is avoiding the core problem, which is nobody wants to buy somebody's stuff. Our message could be off. Our funnel could be off. It certainly isn't Zapier or Mailgun. That's for sure. But that's what the human nature tells us to do, is like, let me build something new, because that's got to be the it. The reality is iPhone's a pile of shit phone, right? Because if I don't have a case on this, if I drop this, the whole thing's gonna shatter to shit. It's fucked. But their marketing and their simplicity is brilliant. That's it. I mean, Starbucks coffee, I'm paying $3 for a goddamn venti. You gotta be kidding me. I get 60 cups of Folgers for $5. And I don't even have to leave my house. I can save 30 minutes. I'm spending 30 minutes and $3 versus 0 minutes and $5 for 60 cups. So it's not rebuilding the product. It's rebuilding one of those three things. Like, write those down. Somebody put it in the chat for me, even in Facebook land. It's going to be your offer. It's going to be your traffic. It's going to be the funnel and how they're getting there. So those are the things we can now simplify back to when things don't work. Now, when there's going to be different types of ways to set people, there's going to be people who friend request you and you want to reach back out to them. And we don't want to look at it from an ego or a power play where it's like, oh yeah, I got the power, I get to be aggressive. Like, why did you reach out to me? Like, that's not the case. We want to be cool. We want to be fun. We're socially networking. We're not robots. Okay. So there's people that are going to reach out to you, and conversely, people you reach out to. So have the same respect of like how you're going to reach out to them, because one thing you don't want to do in that particular scenario. Can you mute out Steve really quick, Ben? Yeah, and one thing you want to not do is sell people right out the gate, because you don't want to be sold out the gate yourself. So just have that same human respect for that particular scenario. So if I'm requesting a friend request and they accept me, I'll just say something like, hey man, like it looks like we have a lot of mutual friends. Thanks for accepting me. I appreciate you, my man. Super chill. And then when they drop a line back, like, hey, thanks, like, looks like we do. Saying, awesome, man. Like, hey, I just want to be, I'm just out, in all honesty, I just reached out because you do cool things. You're in the same space I'm in. And I want to see if we can support each other as we grow. Start a conversation. Simple. Yeah, totally. I'm down. And then I can lean that conversation is like, hey, tell me what it is about what you do that makes you special. And then I can now they're telling me exactly what they do. I'm like, cool, here's what I do, my man. Like, what are you working on next? Because maybe we could help each other. And now you can see where I'm going with this. I'm leaning it in. What are you working on next? Leads. Oh, cool. What's going on with the lead flow? Like, is that something you've been trying to work on for a bit? Maybe I can lend you some advice. And now I'm leaning them in. I'm leaning them in. I'm leaning them in. So I'm bringing them down the road, and I might give them a resource. I'll say, hey, man, check out this video. I think it may be helpful for you. Let me know. I hope so. And then when they say, dude, that was awesome. Cool. Now I have saying, hey, would it make sense if we just hopped on a quick call together? Just see if we can work together or something. And now I have less resistance. And that's all from them accepting my friend request. Now, the other way is going to be the best way, which I like the most, which gets us the most authority, is going to be the two-step post. Like, so if I did a training on how to authentically attract more leads just using your Facebook profile, using the right types of content, which I'll give you copy and paste scripts for, would you be interested? Yes, I would be. Cool. What's going on with your current system to get leads organically? Now I can lean in the conversation because now they want what I have already or what I'm about to create. So that two-step post is really important to have, And there's no rule on how often you can do it. There's absolutely no rule on how often you can do it, because we, like, if we're all coaches and we're all marketing agencies on these calls here, we really have one offer for people. We'll help you solve X to get Y result without any chaos. We'll make it easier for you. And to solve that problem, it costs $4,000 a month for 6 months. And that's it. And now we can eliminate that whole thing off your whole entire life checklist that has been in your life for 10 years. Does that make sense? So the two step is really important. We use it all the time because, like, as a marketing person and a coach, we don't have to constantly come up with new widgets. Like, we don't have to say, like, well, just because we said the Facebook organic thing on Monday, on Tuesday we have to come up with something wildly different. We can just do the same thing. Who still hasn't got my X that talks about Y? Comment me and I'll get it over to you. But the next day it could be, wow, so many people requested access to this. Did you miss out and you still wanted it anyways? And then Friday, something similar. You can post results. Dang, Johnny took this action and got 7 brand new qualified leads just by following this process. Who wants it? Who wants to see it? So it's the same thing over and over and over again, because that's all we offer. We offer very similar services. We could just say it differently. So the two-step value post is really important. The next one is going to be the results post. Like, I use results, like I'll give you a live example. I'll walk through it because I was going to try to have a video edited for everybody, which I'll still do later. But this is just what comes to the top of my mind because it's been on my mind for, like, I've been meaning to do this video for like all week, which I didn't. But last Thursday, October 28th, one person just simply liked a post of mine, never ever opted into one thing ever at all, like not even in our database. Because I went to our database, I just assumed we had to know each other and assumed he had to be opted in the way the conversation went. So it was just a simple like, not even a heart, just a like. So I just jumped over and I said, all right, hey man, like, I appreciate the engagement on my post. How do you know Matt? Because it was literally a testimonial video I posted about a guy named Matt. And you can go back to last Thursday to see the video. It gets barely any engagement. Testimonials barely do, because, like, a lot of people just don't want to cheerlead people on. Now, then I started the conversation. We matured the conversation in Messenger, talked about what he does, and I went deeper than I normally do. I qualified it. I wanted to make sure that we were a good fit. Person owned a business, wasn't a marketing agency, but was considering getting into marketing and wanted to use Go High Level as the backbone. Now, as far as using Go High Level as the backbone, they were considering building all this crap out. And I just said, well, what if nobody wants it once it's actually built? Then what? He's like, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. I'm like, can I give you my perspective? Yes. So I think the exact opposite. What I think you should do is go sell what you don't have, and we make an offer that's really tasty. And once we make that offer and enough people buy it, which we quantify based on numbers or revenue, then we're forced to build it. Then we have no choice but to take action. Then we have no choice but to do it what the people want. Because when we build our own stuff, we build what we want, and we're not qualified to build what we want. We definitely aren't. Because I know a lot of marketing people that I've talked to that have built Go High Level stuff, built funnels, built all this software, and they don't make shit. All they have is a bill. They're in the negative. That business is now fucking 6 feet fucking deep. And guess what? Oh my God, it didn't work. It's like no fucking surprise. You did everything ass backwards when you thought it was the right step-by-step process. So, anyways, going along, shared my perspective, moved it over to a Zoom, sent a link with a video in between the messenger conversation and the sales appointment. Sales appointment came up, showed up on time, and we brought him into the GST program. All simple, all off one like. So the process is super duplicatable, because this isn't anything about whether I'm special or somebody's not, or somebody is and I'm not. All it is just practice. There's no difference between us or you or whoever is booking 3 million appointments in a month or whatever it may be, other than all they're doing is just practicing some skill. Right. So like Fred, you work in what, the medical field, like in the hospital, is it? Like what do you do for you're in mute? Like, so what do you do for the hospital?
Respiratory therapist.
Like, so respiratory therapist. So like what does a respiratory therapist do in like a sentence?
So we help treat people with lung disorders and lung diseases.
Okay, so if you decided to take a year off from your skill and you came back, would you feel pretty confident helping people through respiratory treatment?
Well, I would. I've been doing it for a while, so yes, I
Okay,
would.
so now let's just say, would the client be comfortable knowing that, hey, I just took a year off, man. I haven't been touching anybody. Like,
Yeah,
let's just dive into it.
probably not.
Yeah. So my point being is like we just like if this is one of the most important skill sets that we need to acquire, we just need to acquire it. We need to practice it. Like think about when you're texting your buddy and you want to convince him to get a beer with you and you're using different angles. Be like, hey man, like I know that you don't want to go out tonight, but I got something special. A special guest is visiting town. I don't want to tell you who it is, but if you don't show up, they'll be super disappointed. That's one way to get somebody out. So I'm just kind of using an angle. Another angle is like if I'm the content that I create is going to be the best angle. Let me pull up some of my examples really quickly because that'll probably be better. Let's say go into Google Drive. But what's like in the chat, if you don't mind dropping in here, like what's been like the resistance or the bottleneck that's been stopping you guys from getting the conversations that you want? And Ben and Jacob, if you guys want to type in what you felt earlier when you guys were learning this process, um, what were the issues that you were facing when you were just like trying to figure out what the fuck to say to people? Fear of messing up. Don't know what to post. To be honest, I get scared of death of doing it. Okay, good. That's good. Um, what else? Too robotic. Good one. Okay, so all of those things right there are exactly what you're supposed to actually feel. You are where you are because that's the skill you're at, right? So that's a good thing. Now we know our baseline. The fear of messing up. What if I told you that you can't mess up? What if I told you that messing up is actually the fear is the messing up? Because what are you scared of? Because if somebody said, "Hey, I'm interested in your content matrix," where's the fear? Oh my God, what do I do? What if they don't book? That's not the fear. No problem. What's got you interested in the content matrix? Let's just ask them the question. It's their fear. There's no fear. It's just all that is just not knowing. That's lack of education, which just causes fear. That's why we go from fear to fearless, right? So that's where the skill comes in. Don't know what to post, to be honest, and I get scared to death of doing it. Okay, Sergey, we're going to be helping you out like personally because you're in the GSD too. But getting past, like I had that same thing too. Like I'm gonna dig up one of these videos that I did. That was my very first video ever. It's god fucking awful. And I mean, man, I wrote the whole script word by word, even though I say the same shit every single day. When that video was on, like this camera right that I'm pointing at, that thing's on. But when it used to turn on, I was just like, fuck, it's like a gun to my motherfucking head. Like if I say a word, it goes off. And then I just said, all right, well, I see all these other guys out there that are like crushing it. And I'm like, well, they're such morons. They fucking suck. I think they suck. And then the world is liking their content. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they really don't know what the hell they're doing. They're pulling wool over people's eyes. So then I said, I have no choice now. Because if they're going to buy that shit, they'll definitely love mine because they're going to have, in fact, I was like, I hope people buy their stuff because it's so bad they'll have to buy our stuff. So then I started doing more content, more video, more. And the way, the simple thing is like, if we document instead of like creating content, then it becomes more effortless. And Gary Vaynerchuk says that document, don't create. And all that simply means is talk about things that have happened, that have occurred, demonstrate what it is you do. When you create stuff, then you may be trying to train yourself on something you may not have already inside of you. So if I wanted to create like a commercial, like a video, like I've done before. Ben, find the King commercial and just drop it in the chat. Like this was completely outside of my skill set, trying to act and come up and be funny and be a comedian. And I did a 30-second video that literally took me like a day and a half to like write, like 4 hours to pick a costume out. And then it was only a 30-second video. And it honestly took me a little over 4.5 hours to do. And there was literally like 30 words to say. And I fucked it up the whole day because I was creating. But then once I started documenting, like, hey, what are your favorite software tools to use as a salesperson? Boom, 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 natural. I'll use Go High Level. I'll use Calendly. I use Stripe. If I need to sign contracts, I got HelloSign or PandaDoc. Easy peasy, baby. I don't need to go struggle. I don't need to write a script. I can just talk. Well, what do you love about it? Then I can talk about it. But if I'm trying to create something, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So like when I took you through the story of how I took a like to a sale, and that was a documentation of what occurred. So who would want that skill? Who would want a skill where you can instantly, in one fucking like, have a $7,800 sale instantly? Like I'm talking about like 3 minutes of Messenger and 45 minutes on Zoom, $7,800. You fucking kidding me? Off a like, somebody who has no clue, never been in our database. Do that 10 times in a month. What does that look like? Right? So I think the fear is just a matter of just the unknown. Like I don't know what to do step by step. So that's why we have, like in our program, for those of you guys in the program, we have that step by step process so that all you have to do is take the action. And then when you get stuck, you just get the help. If you get stuck and don't get the help, then you got to look at yourself. That's just stupid. Because then you have it at your disposal. So always get help. Like anybody in the GSD, just the number one thing we say, Ben, is what? When you're on those calls, be what?
Be selfish.
Yeah, exactly. Be selfish. Take up all the time you want because that's what you're paying for. You're paying for access. You're paying for the training. You're paying for the shortcuts.
I just dropped your King ad. I just dropped your King ad video in the comments.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. That was literally the hours and hours and hours, and still didn't really even use it. I mean, maybe we're running this as an ad right now, a couple years later, finally. But in any event, the simplicity of the setting process is truly just having the ability to find your leads. The way we're going to find our leads is the checklist. Anybody know how to identify how to build your buyer's pool that's already in the GSD? What do you do? Anybody? I guess Ben's going to be the anybody.
Anyone.
So Ben, what do we do?
Build. I'm sorry.
You're going along the right line. Build your friends list.
Oh, you're talking your perfect stranger method.
Yeah, the perfect stranger method. Build your friends list. Go, like, if you want to attract realtors, go start friending realtors. And I don't mean go friend them and forget, and then tomorrow you feel accomplished because Monday you did something. Do it every day. Like while you're rolling out of bed or at a red light or drinking your coffee, you can friend 15, 20 fucking people. That's easy because then there's where your revenue is lying right in front of your nose. Go in another group and just put it on your calendar. Go from like I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning to 9:07 in the morning, and all it says is post in one group, and spend 7 fucking minutes to make your voice be heard in a group that people already are your target audience, and add one post of value. Heck, write it the night before and paste it in your calendar so you can paste it in that group the next day. Or if you have lack of content, just go comment on somebody else's comment. Somebody posted something saying, hey, I'm having trouble with X. Just then say, can I share my perspective? Here it is. Here's my perspective. And just give them a bullet point list of things where you can add value. And guess what? That person will like you, friend you. Other people will see it, like you, friend you. And then guess what? When they like you and friend you, guess what you can do? You can reach out and start the conversation. Hey, man, I see you're a real estate agent. That's so awesome. I work with a lot of realtors. What prompted you to want to connect? And lead into a sales call. That's so easy. So I would really kind of calendar block your day, because if we're trying to get more money and more leads, this is the new era of selling. This is literally the new era of selling. Like in the screenshot that or one of the posts about today, I don't know if it was on my profile, Like there's like I literally posted a screenshot and this was all by text. And as you get more confident, this has nothing to do with experience. It has more to do with like clarity and confidence. And somebody like I have too many screenshots I took last night. I was watching some webinars. I can't. Oh, right here, found it. Okay, I just said what we offer is blue magic, and the guy didn't know what I was talking about because blue magic is heroin, by the way, and we don't offer heroin. It's from American Greed, but the symbolism of blue magic is simple. It just means it's the purest, best product on the market. Because Denzel Washington's character Frank gets pissed off when Cuba Gooding's character comes in and sells the blue magic, but dilutes it, chops it up with whatever you chop it up with. So now 96% pure shit is now 70% pure, but he's still calling it blue magic. So I just said, we sell the blue magic. And he said, what the fuck is blue magic? LOL. Very next message. All right, let's commit to 20K in spend this month if you think that makes sense. So that's all by text, all by following this process, all by creating friends, all by writing content, all by participating in groups. Does that kind of motivate you guys? One in the chat if that helps motivate you guys. That all you have to do is post some content and you just have to stay a little bit consistent. And that's it. And as far as like I don't know what to write, I mean just the best thing you can do is like start off with like make a video on your phone that you're never going to share with anybody until you feel comfortable. Do something under 60 seconds, shorter the better. Why do I do what I do? Like I don't know how many stories I've heard where I learn what a person's why is, and then I want to know them more. Like when I know what somebody does, that's cool and all, but I may not need you. But if I know your story about why you got somewhere, then I might actually be like, well, fuck, I could use you. I might remember you more. So that would be one thing that I think everybody needs to do is why I do what I do. Because once you know why your why is there, then everything else becomes like a limitless pill. It's super clear. Because the last thing I want everybody to do is turn like 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, and then they don't even have the certainty or clarity of why they were even doing anything. Because if it's for the money, that's one thing, that's cool. But there's something more deeper than that you're doing it for. Because the money is the vehicle. There's gonna be something a little deeper. There's gonna be like you want to give your family the best life they can possibly have. You want to be able to have a laptop lifestyle. You want to retire by 40 so you can have the freedom that you want. So then we back into the goals. But once you know your why, then everything else below it becomes clear. And that's how this setter, that's why I'm going into a lot of mindset stuff, because that's the setter game is a mindset game. Every position is 100% a mindset game, because based on these answers, fear, uncertainty, doubts, mindset, like not knowing what to say, sounding too robotic, mindset, because now we just have to get into a skill. Now, will you guys commit to doing a deal with me right now? Because we still have a little bit of time here, okay? Like I want to get a 3 in the chat from all of you guys. So a 3, Jacob. 3, brother. 3 in the chat. We're gonna do an exercise together, okay? And we're all gonna fuck it up right now together, okay? So this is an effort thing, not a quality thing. It's just a movement. We want to take our first action step together today, okay? Now, I want to have everybody who's not on their cell phone. And if you are on your cell phone on this Zoom listening in or whatever, I want you to use your hand as your fake cell phone. So you're going to talk to your hand as if it's your phone and you're recording. But if you're not on your cell phone, I want you to take out your cell phone. I want you to mute out. And I want you to turn the video on. And I want it to face yourselves, right? We're going to all mute out. We're all going to take 1 minute right now. Actually, you know what? It's 9:42 my time. At 9:45, that's exactly 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes or whatever it is. We're going to do a video, and we can do it as many times as we want in that short period of time. We're going to say why I do what I do. And if you don't know, just make it up. Just do the video. Why I do what I do. I do what I do because I want to impact not only the lives of my clients, but I want the freedom that I can have to work anywhere and retire by the time I'm 45 years old. That way I can do X. So once I knew my why, then that's our first video. Okay. All right. I'm going to mute out myself, and Ben, you're included. You can do it on camera. You can walk. I'm a walker. So when I walk, like that's how I talk. So if you have ever got a selfie video from myself, you'll notice I'm walking in circles around the same thing. So let's go. We have 2 minutes to do this. Okay, I'll be right back. All right. Good job, guys. I see Kristen's rocking hers out still. Hopefully she's not getting distracted with me. Cool. Now, how did that feel getting a little bit uncomfortable? Was it that hard to do it alone? Anybody want to volunteer? Like how did you feel on camera right now? I'm gonna go with Steve.
All right. Well, I had to walk away from camera even though I'm on mute. So yeah, it was a little bit uncomfortable. But I did it.
Yeah, no. So that's the first action step. So now that we got the most like difficult question to answer of our own lives is why I do what I do. Now, if we can back it into how we can impact other people, how can you demonstrate that you can work with auto detailing shops? How can you impact more real estate agents for Kristen and Tiffany? And how many more e-commerce audits can Sean Patel do so that he can help e-commerce people with Shopify stores monetize their conversions, their traffic, their marketing dollars so that they can actually spend more time with their children? Right. So that's what our storyline is going to be, because everybody wants a better path to get where they want to go. And the bigger the pain they have, the bigger the bigger the fee they're going to be willing to pay. And the way we find those clients is following that perfect stranger method. We friend as many people, we put value-based content on our profiles, we do wins posts, we make offers, and people start to reach out to us. And it doesn't happen overnight, it happens over time. But what happens overnight can have new conversations started, because if I wasn't a sounding board of what I did myself, how the fuck do I expect other people to know what I even do to begin with? So I've been doing the same thing for 17 years. Every single one of my friends knows exactly what I do. Every single one of my friends knows exactly what I do. Because number one, I'm going to tell them. Number two, I'm going to tell a story when they ask me how my day went about a client situation. I'm like, dude, it was awesome. I got to work with a client. They're in this field. We're doing their marketing. They rocked out new sales. So ROI City, baby. Let's go get some lunch, man. Now, guess what they're going to hear? They're going to be like, oh, marketer, ROI. This guy knows what he's doing. He's been consistent his whole fucking life. When marketing comes up, oh, well, hey, me and my partners were talking about doing a marketing campaign. Do you want to help us? Easy, because I'm just telling them what I do. That's my setting process when I'm human, when I'm with my own friends. I'll literally throw that story out there, regardless of how long we've known each other, every single time we talk. How's your day? Goes back to awesome, man. Just got off a client call. Man, I love working with all kinds of different businesses. Marketing is so fun because there's such an easy way with social media now, man. How's your day, brother? So I'm just telling everybody what I do through that story every single time. Um, how often do you close strangers at Starbucks? Um, actually, the funny thing is, when I was at Starbucks, I think I was on our morning meeting call. I ran into a college professor, or not even a professor, the dean of a college, Cal Lutheran University, runs the whole entire business entrepreneurship program.
Go
So
to sleep.
throw Jay on mute, man. Okay, cool. And I literally told it, like, he came up to me, he's like, hey, because he watches our content, we're friends on Facebook, and the dude's like, hey, like, this is a college university dean, and he's like, you are doing it so much more effective than we are. And I'm like, what do you even mean by that? Like, you're an institution with like 18,000 students. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you transitioned on the internet, where he's like, we're having such a difficult time doing digital training, because like, what do we have people come back? Do we do it on Zoom? How do we enroll people because they're so used to being in campus? What's our pay, like, how do we charge people? Like, so I mean, now, like, now, like, the educators are having a difficult time. So because of my content, that opened up an opportunity where we just said, hey, well, we have this agency foundations program. It's intended for people who are aspiring digital marketers that want to know what actually works today versus the traditional educational system. And no offense to you, but I don't think that 140 characters and hashtags is the way to teach students on how they can actually monetize digital marketing if they're going to work for somebody or they're going to start a career. Would it be like appropriate if we had our program given for free to your students as part of the curriculum? Introduction to his team. We have about 8 or so students that enrolled for it. So now they have access to that content. Our goal is to have all 2,000 in the MBA program have access to it. So it's all off doing content. All off doing content. That's it. So that's how we create processes. So it can go into one-to-one situations, but it's preferred to be intended to do it on Messenger or texting or whatever platform you're using, WhatsApp, Instagram, LinkedIn. The methodology works the same. We're just getting our content to mature, a raise of a hand to start the conversation. As far as what to say in that conversation, we have scripts, we have training, we have all that kind of stuff. That's the easy part. The hard part is what you guys had mentioned, is the fear, the getting started, the what to say, because the rest is just interacting. Because like, if somebody came to your desk, or your like if a waiter came to your table, you're not going to have trouble having a conversation with the waiter. You're gonna be like, hey, give me 5 more minutes. Yeah, not a problem. They come back. Have you decided what you want? Oh, I'm deciding between the fish and the steak. They're not going to be like, oh, fish and steak. Oh my God, what? Like, what do I do? They're going to be like, oh, well, what are you in the mood for? What are you going to be drinking, wine or alcohol? Because maybe I can pair it for you. Okay, cool. Like, have you had fish recently or steak recently? Because maybe diversity is cool. Okay, cool. You just had steak the other day. Okay, let's go with the salmon. It's incredibly grilled. It has a lemon vinaigrette, and it comes with a side of lobster mashed potatoes, which pairs really nicely. And especially if you're going to drink the red wine, I'd recommend this Cabernet. That's what we're doing in setting. That's all we're doing, is making recommendations that can help them based on what they responded to or based on how that content started. If that makes sense, put a 2 in the chat. Okay, cool. Now, Ben, Jacob, you guys both unmute really quick. Like, when you two get stuck and you need help on a conversation, what's the first thing you do?
Go to you.
Okay, so get help. What about you, Jacob?
I usually try to come up with my own solution, and then if it doesn't, I usually just try it. If it doesn't work the first time, then I get help on the second time that it comes up.
Cool. Okay, so come up with a solution, take a risk, and if it works, we found our solution. If it doesn't work, get help. So it's a pretty simple strategy, right? So if something's not working, just get help.
Don't stay
Because
stuck.
yeah, don't stay stuck. How many conversations are you having, you think, a day, Ben? Like how many you starting? How many you interacting?
Like
Not how many
brand
messages do you send,
brand
but
new
like
conversations.
no total. Like
Oh,
tomorrow, like on Monday, like what do you expect? Like you're gonna reach out. How many do you think you're gonna reach out to in a day?
oh, easily 50.
Okay, and then Jacob, what about you?
Probably more around 100.
Okay, yeah, because Ben's doing a lot more stuff administratively for us,
Mhm.
and Jacob has the freedom to kind of jump around, like go from Insta to my profile, Cody's profile, or ads, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of conversations that can happen in a day, but when you're the entrepreneur and you have to do it, time block, time block an hour. That's it. Just one focused hour where you have one Google tab open and Facebook or Instagram or whatever that platform is. And just like almost like meditation. I don't really meditate much, but I've used the Headspace app where it's like you're doing the meditation and you close your eyes, your feet are flat on the ground, your back is straight, you're sitting in a chair, and they're telling you, think about your breath, think about your stomach, think about your feet flat on the floor, think about your arms just dangling by your side. And then your mind starts to wander, and then you allow the wander to happen, but then you're aware it wandered, then you're catching yourself. Now it's like focus back on your breath. Did your mind wander? That's okay. It's supposed to. It's okay to do that. Same thing with work. When you catch yourself not being focused and you get into the reels or the scroll trap, just know that you're not supposed to do that. The intention right now is to find opportunities. So I have 1 hour in my 24 hours that I can have today that is only for prospecting. That's it. Can you guys focus for 1 hour per day, just focused on prospecting? Like actually, let me ask you this. Who's not doing this right now? 2 in the chat if you're not prospecting right now for 1 hour every single day. Okay. And then what do we want the most? We want clients, right? We want more content, opportunities. So all we have to do to solve for that simple problem is pick a time. Like I'm going to give you guys another exercise. Let's all pick a time right now together. Pick a time that you can commit to, where you're not going to take a client call. You're not going to go get coffee. You're not going to go eat lunch. You're not going to make an excuse. You're just going to commit to that one time 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. If you want to do 7, Monday through Sunday, every single day. So that's 7 hours. 7 hours a day, a week minimum. If you do that and you stay focused on starting conversations, building your friends list, writing some posts, you're going to have no way to fail. Then it's just going to be like growing the business. Then you're going to need like help with refining the offer, presenting the offer, getting more strategic on Messenger. Cool. Jay's got 1:30 to 2:30. What like everybody drop your time that you're going to commit to. And then I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire. You're going to hold your own feet to the fire. And even when it comes to this time frame, the key that you want to do is you want to have the one tab open or only the necessary tools open. Everything else is a distraction. Like put everything on do not disturb if you can, because then you'll actually execute and fulfill. And once you stay consistent, it's almost like when you start going to the gym again, like you get that energy, you feel good. Like you had 10 good conversations, like, holy fuck, it's because I'm focused. And then when you don't go to the gym and you start to eat like shit and you start to gain the extra pounds and you start feeling tired and slouchy and your back hurts and all that kind of shit. So the opposite also becomes true in business. If you don't commit to the hour a day of just like this exercise for your business, then you'll get tired and mopey and wonder why you don't have leads and why you don't have the income you want. It's because you're not doing the fucking hour. And then once we time block something else, and the key goal here is I don't want you to fill up 8 hours of time blocks unless you're ready for it. Some people are wired that way. And if you're not, it'll cause failure. And once you fail, you just make that the norm. That's the habit. It's too hard, so fuck it. Do it later. So commit to that 1 hour. The next level will just be, okay, now I'm going to commit to another hour where I'm only going to focus on 2 pieces of content. I'm going to write one dope ass piece in 30 minutes that I'm going to post on Facebook. And then I'm going to write tomorrow's post today too. And I'm going to have it ready to go. And I'll put it in my calendar saying, post this at 9 a.m., copy and paste, brother. That's it. Because when you do get distracted, like I did last night, I meant to send an email to our whole, or I'm sorry, it was Thursday. I meant to send an email to remind people of this live. Because there was like 36, 37 people that said they wanted to show up, and there's only the action takers like you guys that did. And some people are watching live or come in and out of this live. But I forgot to send the email because I had too many fucking tabs open. So guess what? I woke up this morning, 7 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, it's still there in drafts and go high level. I'm like, fuck, forgot to hit send. So I don't know when that email got sent. Some people will receive it after this is over now. So my distraction caused the email to be sent 2 whole days later than it should have been. So that's important. Okay, well, Sergey, we got 1 hour for prospecting, 1 hour for reading a promo a day, 30 minutes to do content, 4 hours to write for clients. Love it. I love it. That's perfect. Yeah, and Kristen says it's exhausting to fail. It really is, because that energy that we put out thinking and procrastinating is honestly so much easier when you have that focus. Because like when you get a client, that exhilaration you feel, and you feel like, oh my God, it's a good fit. It's $3,000. It's recurring over 6 months. That's 18,000. Holy shit, that's amazing. Life is fucking great. And then tomorrow, if you don't get that repetitive adrenaline, it's because something changed in your consistency. And that's why people need help. They need like somebody to hold them accountable. And that's the most important part. And like Jacob saying, is there any convos Ben and him can help with? Why don't, like, who has a question right now? An active messenger conversation will help right now live. Like, who has anything right now, or just a general question where when this situation happens, what do I do? Is it
I
Steve? Is
got
that okay? Cool.
Yeah.
Ben and Jacob.
So-
Jacob.
This is what happened.
Yeah, you, buddy. All right, pay attention here.
Yo,
All right,
Ben.
Steve's got a question.
So this is a little further down. So I did the whole thing, got the meeting. I talked to Ben about this, but did it relatively quick because I don't care. I just want to get on the phone, right? I didn't like pre-qualify. Anyways, so my question is building trust. So they just in the messenger, and now you feel like maybe the sale didn't go well because you didn't have enough trust built. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he literally said that, like, oh, just met you on Facebook
So that happened on the call, or that happened in Messenger?
on the call.
Okay. So then in that case, like, you'll already know that going in. So like, for example, if I just booked a call and I went guns blazing, like, hey, let's just hop on real quick. And I'll say, cool. Well, hey, I know we just met each other on Facebook. So like, I'd love to learn just a little bit about your business to see if I can make any recommendations, or heck, maybe even help you. So now I just take it off the table right out the gate, because now
Like,
the trust can be
In the
built.
beginning of the call.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right in the beginning, because that's going to already come up at the end. So why not face that first? Because we already know we're talking to a stranger, and they're not going to pay a stranger over the phone potentially. So we just take it off the call, so off the table, saying like, hey, I know we just met each other on Facebook. Maybe there's some recommendations I can make for you, or heck, maybe we can even help you. But just out of curiosity, like, what prompted you to want to hop on the call with me today? And then if
That's
they,
super common. Like, we're
Mhm.
like, if
Oh
they
yeah.
did-
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like addressing things, we want to take the objections head on, because if it's somebody new, like for me, like sometimes I get on calls, I don't know if they've been following us, so I have to ask them, like, so hey, how familiar are you with like our content? And I'll say, dude, I've been following you for a year. I'm like, okay, warm. Don't trust is not going to be a factor. Saying like, dude, I just literally clicked an ad and now I'm in your group and now we're on a call. Now it's a different conversation, because now trust, I'm looking into qualifying, I'm understanding the pain a little bit deeper. Because if somebody's been following us for a year and they booked a call, well, it's like, well, all right, well, what type of help are you looking for? And let's see if we have a solution for you, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the entry point, you just have to be aware of cold versus warm, and then start there. Especially in that particular situation, that's what I would personally do, is just take it off the table right away, um, because then people will change their tune, and people build trust up like pretty quickly. Like because I mean that's like look at how many people have that you probably come across, be like, man, I wish I met you 6 months ago. I blew all this money in this other guy. That means they just trusted that other guy really quickly by just making a quick decision. So they still have that decision making ability to make quick decisions.
Yeah. And you guys like always put the, hey, if you have time, watch this quick video. If someone like me was just trying to get there, what would that video look like? Well, where would you recommend starting to have something like that to show them ahead of time?
When I start, like, it just depends. Let me kind of back up a second. So if we're hopping on a call and it's a cold situation like you just described, and I know that their goal is to get more leads or more opt-ins, I'll just say, hey, like, I'm looking forward to our call tomorrow at 11 in the morning. Like, I have a quick little video for you. It's about 3 minutes. Would it be helpful if I sent it over to you? And then you're getting them to give the first commitment of, yes, that would be helpful. Saying, cool, if you have time, check this out, and I'll before our call. And then we're not telling them check it out before our call. If you have time, we're just keeping it chill, because we don't want them to cancel the call. We don't want them to get too busy for the call. We want them to be wanting to be like motivated for it, because that's the purpose of the call, is to solve a problem of lack of income, lack of freedom, lack of something in their life that they're seeking.
And what would that video be though? Like what that's what I'm
Oh, okay. Like, here, let me just give you an example. Like, I sent this to somebody. I sent it to him before the call, and I said, like, I just said, like, hey, since you're obviously looking for somebody to help you with generating some leads, let me go ahead and send you a short little video. It's about 2 minutes. On that page, you'll see just like tons of testimonials, but this is just me. So you can just have a video just like this if you want to. And this video right here that you're about to see, that's on a ClickFunnels landing page, so it loads a little bit slower. But that first video, when it finally loads, is about 2 minutes long. And that's about our lead generation process for people. So that I did that on an iPhone. And all I did was, in case you ever, or you can just do it on Zoom like this. And you can use the one slide that I share. Like, you should have, this is inside the program already, so you should already have it. But this slide is here, let me go to I'll share my screen.
no, yeah, I know this, I know the slide.
Yeah, there's gonna be this, like, that's the one slide. That's the real, like, let me just show you a different one, because this should also be there. And if it's not, I can give it to you. Because I just went, I go over this. I don't care if it's Ben, give me share screen, if you don't mind. So this right here. So I share that, like, these two are the same slides, just different formatting. One's in cartoon, one's in flowchart. I kind of go through both when I'm presenting as well. But this is the one slide that closes like all kinds of people. It gives them like clear context. So I would make a video around one or both of these. So you can just have both your tabs open on Zoom. You can say, hey, I just want to show you a quick process on how our marketing system works. Now I'm going to take you through a customer conveyor belt and just kind of describe the slides. Keep it short as possible. Maybe you only have time to do like one of the slides there. I would keep it really, really short, just because they don't have the attention span specifically. But you can model something around that video on that link I put in the chat as well.
That's, I mean, so I have a redo. Like, I told him let's jump, that was on the phone. I told him, and trust was an issue. So I told him let's jump on a Zoom, and it's in 2 hours. And so I did. I went through it and grabbed that presentation, shortened it up, and made it my own. And I'm going to go over that with him on Zoom, and
Perfect.
hopefully
Love it.
I
Yeah.
get him.
Yeah. And while you're going through it, make it interactive as possible. It's like, hey, like, we focus on X. Like, does that make sense? Cool. And then once I get to like the lead flow, and I'll be like, hey, one of my check-in questions is like, hey, based on what we just covered here, man, like, do you feel that this could be something that can help you with what you're looking for? Yes. Okay, cool. Well, how so? And once you get them to repeat that how so back, then it's like you got a one step closer to a yes, because now they're agreeing that this is the solution for them. I won't have time to go over like the sales pitch, but like ultimately, once we know the consequences of inaction as well, because we have to know two sides of every coin.
Yep.
Yeah, the two, like I call that the heaven and hell matrix. So you want to live and burn in hell, or you want to go to heaven and God's hand can help you get there.
No.
Cool. I love that. All right. Anybody else got a question?
I just had an add-on for that for Steve. Some things that have come up for me is for people that like have vocalized that they have trust issues or something like that. Typically that means they had a bad experience with a salesperson in the past. So really I just try to ask up front, like straight up, have you had a bad experience in the past with a salesperson? And they'll say, yeah, I was this and this happened. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, those shitty salespeople or whatever, try to get on their side, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because anybody who is opting in, they're opting in for a reason. Everybody's looking for a solution, and their skepticism is at its height. So it's important that we can always have ways to pattern break that, because that's just the main thing. No matter what it is you're buying, there is always going to be skepticism. No matter if it's like a trainer, a brand of product at the grocery store that's $5 like people's brains will tell them certain things off the opinions and the belief system they formed around the people, from the people around them. So like if I tell my mom, let's go to this Indian restaurant, she'll be like, fuck you, we're not going there. I heard it's awful, but because I said it. But if her friend who's like, she grew up with in India said, hey, let's go to this Lal Mirch, it's so good. Then she'll be like, oh my God, let's go there. And I'm like, what? I just recommended that myself. So it's a belief system. It's from the source too, sometimes, right? So that's important to know too. But yeah, there's a lot of trust issues out there today, because people have been burned. And the good part about that is that we need people to be burned, because life's not fucking perfect. It's a learning experience. You bought something wrong, well, it's not their fault. The one learning experience people should actually start self-reflecting on is it's their fault. Take fucking responsibility. If you bought something that didn't work for you, you have to evaluate, was it me, was it them, or was it a combination of both? But now we know in experience, right? So people just need to learn that, hey, if I bought something bad, now I know how to buy something good. Because we can't, the two things, like, I mean, there's time and money, right? We can always make more money, we just can't get more time. So whatever people value more, a lot of people will value both at the same time, but some people will say like, look, I'll spend more money so I can get back more time, or I'll spend more money so I can get somewhere faster. And that's kind of what we enter every conversation with, the assumption until we're proven different. Because if somebody does want to talk to us, our job is to disqualify and qualify at the same time. And just make sure that they're in the right spot, because we don't want to pitch somebody or present to somebody that just doesn't want our help. Because people are seeking information, perfectly fine. We can give them all the information without having to use our time. But if people are seeking a solution, we're willing to put in the time if they're also committed to the solution. Because like we'll always tell people, we're not going to be the cheapest, we're not going to be the most expensive. We just feel like we just have the most value to give. Like when it comes to making a decision on a solution that you're looking for, like what would be that kind of edge that you're looking for so that you could choose? So people are talking to multiple competitors. You can even ask that in Messenger. Like our sales that we learn vocally, we can also use in Messenger. So don't get that mistaken. Because like if somebody is looking at like 3 different competitors, I'm like, cool, like let's just say everybody seems fairly good at what they do and they're around the same price. Like what would you be using as your criteria to make that decision? Because now that question literally just gives us the answer to what they're even looking for as that differentiator. So you can use that in Messenger. Cool. All right. We're right here a little bit past 10 o'clock right now. We're going to cut it off in just a minute. I don't want to leave anybody hanging with questions. If anybody who drop your calendar link, Ben. If anybody wants to talk to Ben or our team or Jacob about our program, about Just Messenger, on how we can help like craft your script, write your script, etc. That's not already in the GSD program. Feel free to book a call, because like this one thing could be the difference between making hundreds of thousands of dollars or being stuck for the next 2-3 years and watch more YouTube videos. So if you're stuck at all, the one thing we don't care about is finances. And the reason I say that is because we can always make more, we can get resourceful, but if we want to increase our income, we can give a roadmap. So it's important to kind of take advantage when you can versus think you know it all, because that's just not true. We're always leveling ourselves up. I mean, I was up till midnight last night watching webinars of other people's, just so I can learn different, like I'm looking for one sentence, one transition, one thing I can apply that I can help, like not only use to sell more people into what I do, but then also teach more people on what that one thing was that took me about 15 hours to sift through a sentence. So like if you, like Cody was getting, this is my phone from last night. These are all my notes from last night. I just send them all like from here down. Like, so it goes like miles down, all my notes that I was just typing live, and Cody's getting messages at like 1 a.m. last night. So it goes, so I'm just taking all my notes so I can now dissect the notes, because when I take the notes, I memorize it. When I read it, I breathe it. Once I decipher what I actually like versus what I don't, these like 2,000 words of copy right here will be distilled down to one sentence. So as I'm kind of learning new stuff, and it doesn't mean I'm working 24/7, I just decided last night to replace my binge watch of Amazon Prime and Suits, which I've already seen so many times, with a webinar. And it turned into lots of content that I'll be sharing as I decipher what I feel is important, because there's a lot of noise out there, and I want to make sure that I get better so I can get you guys better too. So I hope you guys have that same kind of model and can agree with like that level up mindset, but we don't have to like live and breathe work and feel guilty that we're only working 2 hours or 10 hours in a day. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, your goal and your why is yours. So the comparison is going to be the enemy. But if you need to work harder to get the things that you do want, then just don't tolerate what you're doing, change it. Cool. Was there value in this today, guys? Can you guys let me know in the chat? Because the hardest thing to control is our mindset. It's also it can go in so many different directions. It can tell us to watch 12 different people in a week. It can tell us to do different things. It can tell us, hey, it's okay, I can just do it an hour later. I'll do it tomorrow. But when we get that focus, that discipline, then we look forward to it. Like when I get in a rhythm in the gym, there's no fucking way I'm missing that sucker. I mean, like nothing can stop me at that one time. I gotta go. But then the opposite is true. When I start skipping, then it's like, ah, fuck. Let's start. What do you think January 1st is for? Resolutions. Let's just do it then. And then we already know what we're going to do on January 1st. Let's just wait till 2023. Because we created a habit of delay. So the symbolism of resolutions is do it right fucking now, not January 1st. So you guys are all, I got all the facts that you guys were committed inside of here. I'll, like, hold yourself accountable in the sense of sticking to those times that you guys took. So if you didn't get that chance to hear what we're talking about on times, literally time block it. Like, so your Calendly, your sales, nothing can stop this time from occurring. There's going to be emergencies, which is totally fine. But when it comes to commitment, commit to not take a sales call, commit to not doing anything but that 1 hour. Because once we fill our top of our funnels, it gets low, it gets warmer and warmer. It goes down the bottom of our funnel. But once we cut the head off of our top of the funnel prospecting, then you're going to be wondering why you don't have leads. We have to keep that consistent. That's all. And all it takes is an hour a day. And if you ever need to like get ideas, you can go to my profile, you can go to Cody's, you can go to anybody who's in your space. Doesn't mean what they're doing is working. It just means you can get ideas from it. And just make it your own. Use your own voice so it's easier for you in the long run. Because a lot of people will try to take on the voice of like an influencer, like a Gary Vee or somebody like that, or Tony Robbins. But you just model and use them as a framework and then put it in your own voice. So everything I do is just the way I present it. I've talked the same way since I was in high school, pretty much. And if I try to be somebody else, it'd be pretty hard. So just keep that in mind, is that use your uniqueness as your advantage. Awesome. All right, guys. Happy Saturday. Now, next Saturday, we're doing the same damn thing. We'll pick another topic. I'll pick it and I'll post it. And I'm going to kind of keep things like consistent along what's most important to getting clients over the line. I'm not going to talk about too much advanced bullshit and techniques. I'm going to talk about the most simple things that we need to focus on, is like offers, sales, and pretty much like the funnel. Those are really like the three most important things of any business, regardless if you're Apple or if you're just thinking about starting a business. And that's really the most important part. Okay, so that's it for right now. And if you want to invite some friends to the group, please do so. We help coaches, consultants. And if you want to book a call with us, Ben, if you want to drop that, I don't know if you dropped the link already or not. So I'll leave.
Drop it.
Yeah, just put it in the Zoom chat and in the Facebook chat. It'll be on the thread of this one. And then if you guys want to hop on a call, some of you guys are new faces, because we got like Juanita, we got Jay, Diedrich we're talking to. So the rest of you guys, I love the fact that you guys are in the GSD already too. You guys can just hop on a call. We can walk you through what it looks like to level up, if you feel that part is right for you. But otherwise, we'll see you guys on next Saturday. Book the call already, Chris says. Yeah, book the call already, Facebook land. Fuck you waiting for? We're all gonna die soon. Every day we're getting closer to death. Let's do this. Let's GSD. All right, cheers, guys. Happy Saturday.